guys, thank you for coming back to my videos. I'm Natasha Smith from Yarn Over, and I'm going to share with you how to make a granny square. So I have a couple of people that asked me about the granny square, how to make them, and I promised a video but I never got around to it. So I thought while I shared the magic circle, I would just simply show you guys how I make a granny square. So I'm going to do the magic circle. I have the video for the magic circle, so if you want to look closely, I'm going to do it a bit slower. So I'm going to show you guys with a granny square. So I'm going to make the granny square or make the magic circle, chain 3, and then I double crochet. I double crochet my blankets because it builds up faster, but you can do any type of stitch you want. So I have a thicker yarn so you can actually see. So you chain your 3 double crochets. So you have your 3 double crochets. There's 1 block. Then you're going to chain 1 and you're going to 3 double crochets inside of the loop again. Just going to go there and 1 more. Okay, and then you're going to chain 1 again. So you're going to have 2 now. Then you're going to go and you're going to chain 3 again. Chain 3 double crochets inside of the magic circle. Okay, and then you're going to chain 1 again. So now you have 3. Now the last one, you're going to chain 3 double crochets again into the circle. So I make a magic circle for my granny squares because they close up the hole in the middle quite nicely. That's only why I do it. So then you're going to pull it tight, and then you have your chain 1. So you did 3 double crochets, chain 1, and then you go into the first chain of your first double crochet, and you just slip stitch it in there. So now you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 corners. You're not going to see them that well now because you're still busy. Okay, then you're going to chain 3 again. So I turn my work. If you're not going to turn your work, you need to slip stitch in these 2 stitches as well till you get to this hole. But I turn my work. So I turn it around. Then you see that hole in there. Then you already have your first double crochet. So you're going to do 2 double crochets. 2 double crochets in there. Inside of that hole, so inside of that opening. Then you're going to chain 1 again, and then you're going to double crochet 3 times inside of that hole. So you're going to chain 3 times inside of that hole. So I don't chain between my granny square double crochets. What I mean about that is I would just simply go straight into that hole. I won't chain 1 because otherwise it opens the granny square holes a bit too much for my taste. But if you want to, you can chain 1 and then you can go into the next stitch. But I don't chain 1. I simply go straight in there and I chain my 3 double crochets. Sorry, now I snagged the yarn. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Then what I do, I chain 1 again, and then now my yarn is getting short. 1, 2, 3. Then once again, like I said, I'm not chaining 1. I'm simply going straight into the next opening, but you can chain 1 if you want to. So it is the next one. 3 double crochets right next to each other. 1, 2, 3, and then you chain 1 for the corners. So I chain 1 on the corners so that it can make a nice straight corner. So it's like 90-degree corners, not going to loop or go skew or whatever you might call it. So it's 3 double crochets again into that same corner. 1, 2, 3, and like I said, you can chain 1 or you can just skip the chain and go ahead to the next opening. I go next because then your work looks tighter, neater, but you can chain 2, you can chain 1, you don't have to chain, doesn't matter what you do. So it's 3 double crochets in there, chain 1, and then 3 double crochets again, 3 double crochets. So I'm using a bit thick yarn for this needle, but I just wanted to show you guys with the thicker yarn. Okay, so there you have your 4 corners, as you can see. Then you're going to slip stitch into that corner. If you're not going to turn your work, you need to slip stitch till you get to your next corner. Then you're going to do, let me show you. Okay, so you slip stitch. That's why I like to turn my work, it's a bit easier. So you slip stitch until you get to that corner. So you slip stitch in the next 3, on that 3 double crochets, you slip stitch in each one of them. Okay, I missed it there. Now it's stuck. I crocheted a bit too tight. Okay, so let me just pull it. I crocheted way too tight. Okay, so what you're going to do, you're going to chain 3 now here, and you're going to double crochet inside of there. You're going to double crochet again. You're basically going to remake the corner. So you're going to 3 yarn, do 1 stitch, 3 again, and then you're going to continue. But I turn my work, so I'm going to show you how much easier it is to understand a granny square when you turn your work. So I'm just going to, I missed one there, just going to do the double crochet again, and then I'm going to slip stitch just to show you guys why I do it. And when you turn your work, you can actually wear your blanket whatever side you want to, because there's no right or wrong side. So what I do, I chain 3, and then I chain 3, and then what I do is I turn my work. So I'm in that hole already, so I'm there. So all that I do is I would just chain, double crochet 2 inside of there, inside of that hole, and then I would go straight to the corner. Without, you can, like I said, you can chain 1 there, you can chain 2, doesn't matter. I don't, because then my work looks a bit tighter. So then you go straight to the corner, you're going to do 3 double crochets, chain 1, because you're at the corner, you want that 90-degree turn on there, 3 double crochets, 3 double crochets in there, and then you're gonna not chain, you can chain if you want to. I don't chain, like I said, go straight into that next hole. You're going to do 3 double crochets in here, and this is just, you just continue this route until you are happy with the size of your granny square. So you just continue on, and in the next corner you're going to into the next corner, into the next opening, 3 double crochets. Like I said, if you want to chain in between, you can chain in between. If you don't want to, it's okay. If you want to chain 2, you can do that as well. If you want more of a lacy type of look onto your granny square, I would recommend that you chain at least 2 between each opening, so then this opening is wider. That's all the difference. Is I don't do it because then you can see it looks a bit tighter, it's a bit more closed, but you can also put more stitches in between. So if you magic circle, you can see it opens up again. All you need to do is you just pull that, just pull on that yarn, and then you close it up, and then you close it up. Okay, so I don't want this video to be too long, so I'm just checking the time. Okay, so you just crochet 3 again in there, and then you just continue on. Okay, so I just finished it quickly, so you can see now there's the granny square. The color isn't, it's actually a purple, but it looks blue on here, but you can see the granny square over there. And then if you want to not turn your work, you need to slip stitch into 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches. You slip stitch all the way to the 4 stitches, and then you're going to go into this first hole, and then you're going to go into the second, you're going to go all around again. But if you're like me and you want to turn your work, I find it much easier, much simpler, without having to count, double check. you can just chain 3 again and just flip your work, and you can just go into that first hole, and it's just, for me, it's much easier. So there you go. So if you wanted to do a granny square and you're not sure how to make it or how to start it, I've shown you here, and there's another video on here that I'm going to share, or did already share, is the magic circle. So you can chain 4 if you want to, connect the chains, and then you can, chains and change, you can just connect it and you can double crochet into that opening. But I like the magic circle because it closes up the circle in the middle of the granny square. But you all should have an awesome day, and thank you for watching the video, and I hope this was helpful. Right guys, bye.